The recently released matric results has again put the spotlight on the need for private independent schooling at all levels, from preschool through to tertiary education. In order to support South Africa's education sector, it seems many parents would rather take the option of sending their children to a private school rather than a government school. Joining us live from our Durban studios to elaborate on this topic is Gerrie van Biljon of Business Partners Limited. Gerrie, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Gerrie, let's talk about this. I mean, the recent national matric pass rate highlights the pressure on the education system. Ultimately, it talks about kids obviously qualifying and need to get quality education. Where our current system, if we look at our schooling system, a lot of people claim it's inadequate, opening up the doors for independent schools or private schools. Should we be concerned?
Well, if we consider we've got around about 25,800 public schools out there, and we've got around about 1,580 independent schools or private schools, if you want to call it that. But it's also an industry that's absolutely growing. It's growing at a rapid pace, which only proves that there's a need for private schooling. People are prepared to pay for education and invest in the kids, and we can see that going forward that industry would even grow to a greater extent. People believe in education and investing in a career, and the starting point is obviously schooling. That's where it all starts, and if you get that wrong, then obviously going forward is a major problem. So private schools is something that's going to be here tomorrow. If you compare, for instance, the ratio of private schools to government schools, the ratio is around about 5% or so, where in the United States it's around about 24%. So there's definitely some space for growth out there. But it's not only about private schooling, it's about other education facilities that one can utilize. One think of anything from preschooling to a specialist training institution. With a poor matric results, well, it gives new opportunities to entrepreneurs to actually expand or open a training facility of some sorts. It doesn't have to be a private school. It doesn't have to be something post-matric. If you think, for instance, the current skills levels, which is a major problem in South Africa, why not offer a service? Technical training, for instance. That is an area that I believe people should consider. Both those people that have failed or even passed their matric should consider a technical training. There's a huge need out there for professional skills.
Gerrie,
and it may be a...
Gerrie, let me come in there very quickly. We are talking about all these other things. I mean, and we can't deny that there are benefits to technical colleges and all these other opportunities. I'm a little bit concerned, and are you concerned that there's a mushrooming of private schools on the back of a negative perception, excuse me, of public schools, when we know for a fact that not all public schools are bad?
Yeah, that's true. I believe that one should really look at the current system, because private school is not going to fill that gap. There's no ways that the private schools can actually be a substitute to the government school. So the starting point is to get that fixed, and that obviously has got its own challenges. Private schools, I believe, is filling a specific gap in the market. It will grow. There's no doubt about it. So they should actually work, hand in glove with one another, because they can really support one another.
We talk about the opportunities, and I agree with you, there are economic benefits, especially for the parents that, or I should say educational benefits for the parents that can afford to send their kids to private schools. My big concern is also that when you have an influx or a mushrooming of a particular business now, and there are opportunities, there are entrepreneurs that are saying, well, I can open up a private school, where do we draw the line between financial gain and quality of education? I mean, we can argue at length about the quality of public schools. We've proven yesterday yesterday we had a secondary school, Pumalong, in the east of Johannesburg, 100% matric pass rate, great school, dedicated principal. Where do we draw the line between, yes, it's a great business opportunity, but is my child going to benefit?
Yeah, that is a question that's not easily being answered, because you know the starting point is you must offer the service. And what concerns me is that there are many people, not necessarily in the private schooling sector, but more of the specialist and even general training institutions, where they come and they give you a lovely brochure, and they in business for the first time and they cannot deliver. That is a major concern. So for those people that would like to enroll, I would suggest to check out the training institution carefully before they commit themselves and put a lot of money in their pocket. Because we've seen in the past that people get all excited about, you know, let's train the people. There's an opportunity out there. People cannot go to universities. Let's do something. But at the end of the day, they cannot deliver. Because at the end, you know, if you pay for something, you expect a certain level of professionalism and delivery. So that's a warning out there. Don't just go out there and listen and react to an ad and put your money out in the hands of inexperience and the fly-by-night, so to speak.
Gerrie, do you as an expert foresee a possible problem? Because there is already a shortage of trained teachers. We've seen problems with the CAPS curriculum this year being implemented, and in many ways there are success stories, but there are also issues. Satu came out, Mugwena Maluleke, saying that there wasn't enough support for teachers. When you then open up so many private schools, and I'm not against the business of private schools, does that not suck the quality teachers who already feel frustrated in the public sector into the private schools, creating a wider gap at a public school level?
There's no doubt about that. Private schools will continue to use the best teachers that they can find, because they've got a certain reputation, they've got a certain quality that they need to offer, and for that they need good teachers. So it's going to happen. They are going to draw the good teachers from the public schools, and that's going to put new pressure, additional pressure, also on the public schools. So once again, that means that we have to train teachers, and good teachers, because let's face it, the kids are in the hands of our teachers. We as business partners obviously focus very much on the financing of small and medium enterprises, and we've also got a specific focus on education, like the financing of private schools or preschools or specialist schools, and student accommodation. And if I can just stick to that one for a second, we've got around about 550,000 university students out there, and universities can only offer 110,000 beds. So that's a good indication of another business opportunity out there, because the gap between the two needs to be filled by people, yep, by the private sector.
Gerrie, we're going to leave it there. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but we will pick up this conversation. It is an interesting conversation. Of course, we're still at the beginning of the year, and it would be nice at some point to check in during the course of the year and see what the education system and sector looks like. And maybe as those industries or those private schools grow, we can maybe look at the benefits and some of the cons of that.